Well, here we go guys, it's another Torpid cast, and it's not actually on Monday again, but I guess it's middling Monday, so it'll do. Today we're rocking the Inquisitor. Well, I don't know why I'm saying we like I'm playing the game. Ninrai is rocking the Inquisitor, with some very fancy looking guardsmen. They seem to be coloured somehow to give them these black capes. I don't really know how he's done that, but there you go, that's cool. Who's he going to be fighting? He's going to be fighting Jester, who's going to be beating him up in melee, playing as the Force Commander. So we'll see how that goes. He's got some pretty cool looking tactical marines himself actually. Nice shiny pauldrons on them. Let me tell you, they shine their pauldrons, polish them a lot more than I polish my boots in the police force. Fuck me, that shit's pointless as hell. Get dirty immediately. Anyway, enough about vanity. Let's go on to the matchup. We certainly see a lot of unconventional opening builds from both of our players at the moment. Firstly, we see triple guardsman from Ninrai. That's quite odd. You would typically expect a sentinel, and historically the triple guardsman into one sentinel was quite a powerful build, but you'd always get the third of the triple guardsman after your sentinel. Certainly you wouldn't be upgrading all the guardsmen sergeants either, because that's a lot of extra pop and upkeep. But that is what Ninrai is opting for. Perhaps he feels, oh dear, this is a dead Inquisitor. Potentially. No, looks like he's going to live. Looks like he's just going to live. Pretty close. I did refer to the Inquisitor as a he then. That's my mistake. She's definitely, last time I checked, a female. But hey, you never know these days, perhaps she identifies as a male anyway, because she can beat up a hell of a lot of males in this game, that's for sure. Anyhow, guardsmen are definitely going to be able to beat scouts on these sidelines quite handily. Guardsmen will trade extremely cost effectively against any sort of ranged unit really. Oh, we see the potential for a nade in retreat. That's looking pretty good. A little bit to the right unfortunately, but that does kill an extra 4 guardsmen. And that is going to mean that there's a lot more XP given to these tactical marines and scouts. Scouts drop one model to the guardsmen here. These are really cool cape looking guardsmen. They kind of look like Robin from Batman. I don't know. They're just so puny compared to the space marines, aren't they? It's quite cute. Quite cute. Anyway, the Inquisitor's coming back out of base, trying to do something, but she hesitates. We see fast Cadishans coming out from Ninrai. No generators yet. Can he drop one? He can, so he really ought to be dropping his generator as soon as possible. Now I like the Kadishan pick. I guess it's kind of obvious if you go for triple guardsman, you're going to need some extra anti-melee, because you don't have the mobility nor the stomp of your sentinel. The Kadishans obviously provide that with their power melee when they're actually stuck into melee combat, but their sources of knockback help a lot as well against melee. But the other reason I like the Kadishans in this instance is that Jester has actually opted for double scouts. One of whom actually already has the grenade from the sergeant. And if they get infiltration, and they ambush your guardsman blobs and hit you with a powerful grenade, well, it's just going to hurt, isn't it? Let's face it. So you want the detection, and the Kadishans do that. They also do this. They disrupt the devastated marines, so that you don't have to throw your guardsmen into melee combat with them. And instead the Kadishans can run into melee, and by god are they scary to devastators in melee. They're kind of backing off now though and giving the devastators time to set up, so I think the whole IG army over here is just going to soft retreat away. Yeah, none of them even get suppressed, so that's nice. Dropping down IEDs as well. I don't know about that IED. Obviously there is a scout sergeant on the field who will detect that, but for whatever reason the scout sergeant's decided to go down to the mid. So he's not going to be detecting that for a while yet. Oh my god, if the devs walk over this perfectly, it might even wipe them because they're not full HP. That would be a sight. Is that going to happen? That would be such a play. I feel like it's more good fortune than good judgment, but we'll see. We'll see. Grenade coming in the cats. No, they dodge it. Nothing to worry about here. Nice special from the Inquisitor. Here she goes again, doing her thing, beating up men. Absolutely radical. But what do you expect from a red-haired woman? Let me tell you, I'm half Scottish, half Irish. Red-haired women? Ho ho, they can kick the shit out of most men in England. Watch out for them. Anyway, anyway. She's forced off there because she is slightly outnumbered. You know, typical for 2021. It takes 4 fucking men to gang up and beat her down. Someone with Devastator's probably in the back filming it on his mobile. Scouts have got a bit of a dirty flank here. These Kalashnikovs could definitely die. Looks like they're going for the retreat grenade. Will he get it, or is he going to be embarrassed on all of YouTube? Ho ho! He fucking smashes it. Well done, Jester. Wipes out the Kalashnikovs. And ironically, the Kalashnikovs are meant to be the unit that prevents the Scouts doing good grenade things. But not in this case. Absolutely smashes it. Kalashnikovs are gone. And instead, Ninrai's opting for some spotters. I mean, that's fine, don't get me wrong, spotters are obviously going to help him against these Devastators. They're quite obnoxious with these Vengeance rounds. Look at the bleeding range of these things. I mean, they're honestly not doing that much damage. I feel like they're hitting cover more than they are anything else. Okay. Okay.
We just need to find an edge.
Oh, finally the ID gets spotted. Scouts nearly walk over it anyway. They're going to finish it off, though. A lot of infiltration plays from Ninrai, but I really don't know how I feel about that, because, I mean, it'll work better when you're only fighting one scout, but both of these scouts actually have the sergeants. He's getting a lot of work done as Jester using these grenades. Look at this here. Obviously, guardsmen with their sergeants should be able to easily handle a lone scout squad on the sidelines, but not if the scout squad can land a good juicy grenade. And I foresee that this game is going to be heavily influenced by these grenades. Perhaps if Ninrai can find a way to actually wipe them out, these scouts, he'll get back into this match. But at the moment, it's looking pretty bad for him, and I bet these scouts are really going to abuse his soul. I think he's kind of privy to that, so he actually cancelled his spotters and replaced his Kalashnikov Devils. I like that. I like that. I think he's just too vulnerable without the spotters. Everything's just going to get blown up by grenades left, right, and centre, and the enemy's going to be outmaneuvering you. I like that there is 4 gens up for Kill Jester. It's going to optimise his economy. He even has 3 power nodes as well. This is pretty awful for Ninrai, not going to lie. Would you see Kalashnikovs being infiltrated here by the Interrogator's armour? This could be quite cool if they can get into, well, get behind the Devastators and get some melee attacks on them, and then the Devastators have to retreat through them. That would be good. But the Scouts are really close to detecting them though. We just goes for an explosive shot. I think that was a bit, well, just a bit of a fail, to be honest. Force Command is super low, and Old Reliable might finish him off. He really needs to Old Reliable him. Nice. Okay, he gets the kill. I feel like that could have been executed a little bit better. I really feel like the Kalashnikovs could have gone around the back and got some melee hits on the Devastators. Didn't need to use the explosive shot. And then, if the Devastators have to retreat through Kalashnikovs, oh boy, that's going to be painful. There's a good chance they'll get wiped. Guardsmen here need to be fleeing quick time. What the hell are they doing? They're fighting, you know, there's only 9 guardsmen. They're fighting 8 scouts. And they've got grenades potentially on retreat path. This is really scary. Okay, they're going to dodge that grenade, but they're just losing health. Now there's another grenade potentially in retreat. Or we could get this. He's still far ahead. Oh, I think it's taking too long. A pretty good attempt, not going to lie, but just needed a little bit more forward. Well, that's 7 dead guardsmen. That's more dead guardsmen, but you know what? Who cares? That's what guardsmen are there for, aren't they? Fodder for the enemy bullets. So admit, Interrogator's armor's doing relatively well so far, considering there's 2 scout sergeants in the field. Makes you wonder how well it'd do if there was only 1 scout sergeant going around. But it looks like Ninrai is going to be routed off from this position. Now the Kalashnikovs are going over to deal with the scouts, and they will. They'll obviously handily beat them in normal combat. But you've just got to be careful, you've got to watch them. There's 1 good grenade against Kalashnikovs will do a lot of damage. Kalashnikovs have a tendency to blob up a lot. What's that? Oh, Hell Fury. And he puts the other ones inside. Oh, that's not good. Oh, this is why the game goes on, guys. This is why the game goes on. And there we see both the scouts that were causing so much concern for Ninrai wiped out. A beautiful Hell Fury strike on the garrison. It does very good damage to buildings, and of course the Old Reliable as well has a modifier from the Kalashnikovs. I think it does 4 times damage to units in garrisons, maybe triple it at the very worst, but at the best 4 times. So either way, both the scouts dead. Oh boy. But Kill Jester still has triple gens up, because one did get bashed here. And he's already going tier 3. Now Ninrai has opted to go for the Ogrin squad, but Kill Jester could just get the Terminator Force Commander. So honestly, given the fact that there's a VP lead as well for Kill Jester, I don't know how this bloody game goes on. Obviously I wouldn't be casting this game if it only lasts 10 minutes. Some crazy shit's about to go down, let me tell you guys. All it takes here is one pathing fuck up, and there you go. He's just fucked up the pathing. He stopped moving it. Ogrins are gonna... Oh, they just need one more hit. Oh, wow, that was clutch. Kill Jester, you deserve to lose the Razorback in that instance when you stop moving it. I'm not gonna lie to you. But he doesn't. They get out with 7 HP, believe it or not. These Devastators have kind of been the bane of Ninrai's life. If you can just take out these Devastators, he might be alright. Now, obviously, things like Terminator's not that big of a deal for Ninrai, because he does... Well, he is playing the Inquisitor. So all he needs to get is a sail, and then he can use the Excruciators. No, wait. Is it the other way around? The Excruciator's armor, and then you use a sail? I think it is. Well, that will obviously pin Terminators in place, then you can blow them up with things like Manticores. But Plasma Guardsmen will do decent damage, or Grins will do very well against ranged Terminators. So he has options for sure. Melee ones you can just kite with your Guardsmen. Here comes the Plasma. I actually think a Predator right now would be the best option. And again, look at how much damage that Razorback taken. Okay, going tier 3 and dropping in tax is not the best way to go about things. I don't really understand that. And now Kill Jester is getting Thunderhammer on the Force Commander. Why? You've gone tier 3. And then the Force Commander goes down. What? I'm sorry? Does that make sense to any of you guys? Hell Fury gets dropped in the devs. It's not going to be quite as effective on them when they're not in the garrison. Okay, so Kill Jester just got to tier 3 really, really quickly. Then he lost one of his gens. And he decided to get the Thunderhammer on the Force Commander when he could have got the Terminator Force Commander armor and got a Flamethrower. Killed all these Guardsmen in seconds and the gens in seconds. Or gone Lightning Claws and been able to absolutely bully the hell out of the Ogrins. Lightning Claws have tracking specials just like the Thunderhammer, but they do even more DPS. And he's way tankier, 2,500 heavy infantry armor rather than 820 hero armor. I don't understand what's going on. And then he's dropped in tax as well. Well, that's a dead Razorback. Scouts were inside it. These are obviously fresh scouts since the previous 2 scouts have died. Now, Walkers are going to start bleeding soon. They need to get out of here. I don't know why they're still in the field, to be honest. What are they doing? Oh, nice timely Hammer of the Wishes, though. Now Force Commander has to get out of there instead. And now the Stormtroopers have to get out, because double attacks will do a lot of good damage to Stormtroopers. Now, they should just retreat, honestly. No point in them standing there. Just played 2 models for no real reason. Well, this is a lot of investment in Ninrai's tier 2. I mean, he's pretty much gone balls to the wall with it. The only thing he's missing is the... Well, actually, no, he's missing loads. He doesn't have the Commissars on his Guardsmen yet. He also doesn't have the Sarge on his Cadishans. But other than that, we've seen Stormtroopers come in. I assume that was dropped in via the Global, so they're a little bit cheaper on requisition. Now that does see Ninrai with no red. I don't understand Kill Jester here. Why he would upgrade the Thunderhammer after going tier 3 is completely beyond me.
We just need to find an edge.
You know, if he had significant levels and he already had all 3 war gears, then that would explain not getting the TFC, but the TFC is so much better than the default Force Commander. I mean, the TFC, even accounting for the inferior armor that it has, he actually has more HP than a level 10 Force Commander with Artificer armor and the Iron Halo, so, you know, it's a free teleport. And fuck me, man. You just get the Flamethrower and all of IG's gonna die. What's this? Terminators? Ranged Terminators. Okay. Well, obviously these guys are gonna be a pain in the arse to deal with. But if he can whittle them down a little bit with the plasma guns, potentially a melter gun from the Cadishans, and then get all this scary melee infantry into the fight, the Terminators will die pretty easily. Kadishans need to get out of there pretty quick. They die very fast as Storm Bolters. Ogren's less so. Oh, it looks like he sniped the Force Commander again as well. The Ogres are actually putting a damn lot of work here. I'm very impressed. I don't think they should have done, but they have. These scouts, honestly, they need to be in the main fights with a sergeant, because that was just totally unnecessary there. The Force Commander should have been further back and just been able to be used to counter-initiate. I don't really know why Terminators are running away from Guardsmen. You know, just melt them. I mean, plasma guns obviously do tickle the Terminators, but Terminators have such good regen that it doesn't matter. And it's just giving you loads of free XP on your tactical points, one of which is now level 4. Okay, he's going to judge a Terminator. I don't really see the point of that. Judgment is mostly about the splash damage that it does. And there's, you know, Terminators have 1,500 HP each model, so splash damage is not going to be killing them anytime soon.
A victory point is slipping away. We're here. A power node. Roger.
But somehow, enough pressure has been eased from Ninrai that he's managed to sneak his way to saving up enough money to go for tier 3. Oh, Stormtroopers needs to get the fuck out of there. Storm Bolters aren't firing yet, just the assault cannon, but it quickly gives a model.
Sir, power node is ready.
Honestly, he really doesn't want to take this fight. The Ogres are too low on HP, and the Stormtroopers just don't do any significant DPS to super heavy infantry. Yeah. Terminator should have just stood there and fought the Ogres in melee. The supporting fire from level 4 attacks and devs, they did them really well, and then they just heal it off. Look at their regen. That's why Termies are so good. This is obviously the main compensation for the fact they can't retreat. You don't need to retreat them often because just look how bloody tanky they are and they just heal up so quick. God forbid your opponent's the Apothecary and can triple that speed. Oh, such a powerful combo. But you can use For the Emperor on the Terminators, which would be nice to see as the Force Commander. I'd also like to see him get the Sacred Standard if he is going to keep the Force Commander non-Terminator. Though, as I've already explained, Terminator Force Commander would be way better. Now, the problem for Kill Jester is that there's going to be a Lehman fairly soon. I mean, it's going to be a while yet. Ninrai is definitely lacking in power. He actually bashes a gen there, but it's kind of pointless. Oh, Kadish is bleeding. That's going to cost him a lot of power. Guardsman never upgraded with the Commissar. I mean, that will obviously help the requisition income of Ninrai over time, but I don't know. They just die so quickly. He's got no staying power in these fights. Like, the Ogren's finally arrive into combat, but at this point, it's a bit late because all the support's already gone, and they do need support to beat the Terminators 1v1. I don't know how it goes if they actually just fight them 1v1 in a duel. I think it'll be a very close fight, to be honest. But it takes so long, it's so easy for Kill Jester to just bring some support over and turn the fight on its head. Yeah, you see, that's an awful engagement there for the Ogrins. Just lose loads of HP, don't do anything significant to the Terminators. Now the Terminators are just going to heal that off.
We've lost the power node.
Kadishan's infiltrated again using that Interrogator's armor. So is the Inquisitor, but I feel like the infiltration there was a little bit premature. Maybe he was using it mostly for scouting. I don't like how he's got these infiltrated Kadishans, yet he keeps using abilities to disrupt the devs. Just send the Kadishans around the side and melee the devs. Looks like devs are going to die here. Oh no, they just get out in time. But see, this is the problem. Move your Kadishans up here before you engage, so they have to retreat through you. We do see Sacred Standard, but Force Commander's gone very low. Shotgun Blast being used yet? Full energy, so I assume not. Why do you use Shotgun Blast? And now the Terminators are caught by Ogrins. But now the Lehman Rust is out. Must have been a lot of tactical marine bleed, I guess. Yeah, it looks like there is. This level 4 squad used to have a sergeant, they've lost that. Damage buffs, buffing up the tactical marines at this point from the inspiration of the Terminators. Man, this force commander is really pissing me off. I just don't understand why he's still a force commander. He spent all this money kitting him out in tier 3 when he could have just got the Terminator force commander. Makes no sense. Executioner Lima Russ, I like it. You don't get to see this thing often enough, but it's the perfect choice in this instance. Obviously, blobs of heavily armoured infantry. This thing's going to be perfect to DPS them down. So focusing on the Terminators, there is now a las cannon though. The Vengeance round's been swapped out. That was a beautiful change for the devs that allowed them to swap out. Oh fucking hell, we see double missile attacks already. Before the Emperor's used a little bit late. It doesn't matter, he wouldn't have got the kill. Before the Emperor was completely wasted in the end. And everything just needs to go back and heal up. They are all free models, which is nice, but they're all extremely low. If only this force commander was a TFC with flamers and he kept going down this left hand side. He'd have burnt all these gens. Ninrai, unlike Jester, doesn't actually have that much of a stockpile of power. There's nothing Stormtroopers to do against 2,500 heavy infantry armour. You'd have to send the Guardsmen over, and what they're going to do, they're going to get melted by a flamethrower in seconds. So you'd have to send the Ogrins over, but then how do you fight the Terminators? Crazy. Such a big error from Kill Jester, honestly. Okay, we see some more infiltration shenanigans again. What are the scouts doing? Where are they? Oh, they don't even have the sergeant. Wow, he's really facilitating these infiltration shenanigans. But that was not a time to engage. Why? I don't understand why Ninrai just took that engagement. He's fighting the entire blob. And he doesn't even have his Lima Russ to support. He's coming in late, and the Ogrins now are already really badly damaged. Actually getting suppressed by the assault cannon there. It will suppress eventually if it shoots at a target for long enough. It's not instant like heavy bolts or anything. No melee attacks from the Terminators. It's a shame, really. Wow! Holy shit! Look at the damage from those missile attacks because of the inspiration buffs and the battle cry. That was crazy damage. Oh my god, they did nearly 200 damage a shot. They're only going to do 130. An absolutely stunning rocket run. Looks like the second one maybe wasn't so stunning. Holy shit, he hit his own units. Oh, what the fuck, Ninrai? Oh no, Ninrai. It looks stunning to start with. I mean, it wipes out one of the tactical marines. That's good, if I call it stunning. But then the second rocket run happened, and bad things came of it. Guardsman squad down. Now he's replacing a Guardsman squad. Why would you not get Kassakin? Just get Kassakin. You've still got one squad to repair. Just keep him repairing the tank at all times. Use your Kadashans and the Ogrins in the big fights. Keep sending the Stormtroopers down the sides along with Kassakin. Kassakin cap faster as well. They're just like the perfect unit. Cap faster, move faster, sprint, tankier, more DPS, utility with frag grenades and crack grenades. Oh, guys. This is a very middling Tuesdays. Very middling Tuesdays. Why these scouts do not have a sergeant upgrade is also kind of beyond me. With the amount of shenanigans with this interrogator's armor that have happened. I actually like to see Purgatus at this point. Or Rasail, in fact. Just get rid of this armor. I don't know, I guess it's been doing well, but both Purgatus and Rasail will do amazing things against Terminators. I just like that he's never had the sergeant on the Kadashans. I think it's a really good purchase. Just a nice generalist purchase. More HP for the squad. That melter gun actually does really good damage. Much more than the shotguns do. So here we go again. Looks like the Devastators are going to get forced off. Yep, Ogrins are absolutely fucking them up. Old Reliable was pretty awful. Actually knocked over the Ogrins. Not ideal. Ogrins need to get onto the missile attacks. I guess it doesn't really matter. There's only one now, and Lima's got shitloads of HP. Now Kadashians should just force melee on the Terminators. Terminators, in their range form, rather interestingly, are the only unit in the Space Marine roster that has no form of melee resistance. Sorry about that, guys, my phone just started ringing. Anyway, the Lehman Russ nearly actually dies there thanks to the dropping of the Assault Terminators, but it doesn't. It manages to back off. And the game continues. It really continues. Honestly, it's kind of oh my god. No, don't drive forward. Jesus, that was close. One more shot obviously would have took out that Lehman Russ there. Oh, it might not matter. Assault Terminators on rear armour, and that might make them drive forward into the last div. Not quite. Oh, now the problem with the Executioner, it starts friendly firing, and he missed micros and another Thunderhammer hit. It's that Lehman on retreat. On retreat. Well, I guess it wasn't soft retreat, but on rear armour. Ogren's putting in some decent DPS, but yeah. Terminators turn and fight, and Ogrins are not going to want any of this. They actually drop a Terminator. That's kind of huge. Finally the Ogrins start falling. Quite lucky there. All the damage seems to be spread very evenly on the Ogrins, but obviously not on the Terminators. Well, this is a VP's game now. Ninrai's doing his best to side cap. He's kind of all in on the mid, but the Force Commander should be able to disrupt him. It's too late, he should have stayed in that cap. However, the Inquisitor is capping on the side. Is this more Stormtroopers? It must be, right? I don't think he can do it with the double Terminators. Where are the ranged Terminators? Oh, they're still back there. If they just come and sit in the mid, I don't know how he's going to have the DPS to force them off. I guess Ogrins could potentially do it. Wow, Meltagun Stormtroopers, interesting. I mean, they obviously have a much better modifier against super heavy infantry armor. Terminators. Melta weapons actually do 50% bonus damage against super heavy infantry, whereas piercing does what, like 30% damage or something? Something terrible. Not to mention, Meltagun Stormtroopers do get 20% extra HP per model, so nice when you're capping under fire. But it looks like VPs are going to be a problem because there's nothing trying to capture the natural VP for Ninrai, and these Terminators have gone on to the natural VP for Jester, and so Ninrai is going to have no time to stabilize the VPs, and this game is now over. And the 20% extra HP on these Metal Stormtroopers does not help them survive the Assault Cannon and the Stormbolters from the Terminators. That's going to be the end of the game. What a fucking weird game that was. Honestly. I don't really know what to say. I think I've covered it all really in the middle of that one. Kill Jester just facilitated him nearly getting a comeback. That was so unnecessary. Kill Jester was so ahead with his beautiful grenade scout plays in the early game. Which, let's face it, that was facilitated by the fact that Ninrai didn't go for a Sentinel, but, you know, each to their own. If you don't want to go for a Sentinel, you don't want to go for a Sentinel. It is an annoying unit, but it's an unfortunate fact that if you want to play IG in a try-hard way, you always want to get the Sentinel. There's never a build in which you don't get the Sentinel. The Sentinel is always optimal. That isn't up for debate. But anyway, he didn't go for the Sentinel, then the Scout nades were really brutal, but then he wiped the Scout nades with a beautiful Kadashian, Old Reliable plus Hell Fury combo over by the Garrisons. Garrisons can be a curse, especially in Tier 2. But then killed Jester, he thrown his Razorback, he just mismicroed that, and he didn't get the full gem bash on Ninrai, and then he got to tier 3 miles ahead, and then he just upgraded his Force Commander, and used drop pod tax in tier 3. So strange. All he needed to do was get the Flamethrower or the Lightning Claws on the Force Commander, get a Predator, and then drop in some Terminators. Like, I don't know what Ninrai could have done. I did point out many occurrences with the Cadishans where they were infiltrated with the Interrogator's armor, where I think they could have done with just staying in I can't speak now. Staying infiltrated for a little bit longer, so they could sneak round the back of a Devastator squad, and then force melee, such that the Devastator squad then has to retreat through you. In fact, the ideal thing to do is, you get round the back of them, you use your shotgun blast to knock them forward. So say there's an enemy, oh, how the fuck do you use these things? Nope. Say there's an enemy here, so you sneak round the back of them, and then you hold down right click and rotate towards them. Then you press Q and use your explosive shot, so you knock the devs forward here. And then you press D and force melee onto the devs while they're on their asses. The enemy will usually panic because you just come out of infiltration like, oh shit, out of infiltration, Cadishans, whoa, they're scary, they've got devils in their name. They hit retreat and you get melee hits on them while they're on their ass with the retreat modifier making you do bonus damage. Then they have to stand up and retreat through you, so you get another 1 or 2 hits. Let me tell you, against Devastators with their low ass HP and their heavy infantry, which obviously you do bonus damage against because you have power melee with Cadishans, you nearly wipe them all the time. Just a little tip for you guys there if you want to play some Inquisitor and abuse that Interrogator's armor. But that is going to be all. Hopefully in the future we return back to the Monday schedule. Going to get a lot of recording done tomorrow with any luck to try and ensure that. But wow, the last video that I posted with the semi-finals between Tex and Tor has been popping off pretty well. So I thought, you know what, whatever, we'll leave it an extra day to garner them views. Don't worry guys, there will always be 2 videos a week. At the very least, that's going to be continuing. If you don't see one up on Monday, it will definitely be up on Tuesday. But fingers crossed, the next few weeks, you're going to be seeing videos up on Monday. Anyway, one final thing before I disappear. Do tune in on Thursday at 9 PM for my upload then. It's going to be the finals of Elite League Season 7, and what's really cool is I've actually got a little co-caster going to assist me with that. It's going to be Big Man Boss from the so-called official Elite Mod Discord. So he's going to be doing a little co-cast with me of the finals of the Elite League, and that's going to be between Tex and Val Hero. So definitely tune in for that. Show your appreciation in the comments if you've actually listened all the way through, because I've been rambling for quite a while now. We've got Boss coming on Thursday to do a little co-cast, so that should be cool. Maybe I'll get Tex on in the future. Anyway, top it out.